Ball is stolen by James. James all the way down court. Reverse jam brings them to their feet here in Cleveland.
A little extra flair on that one, Kesty. And here's that defense. Turnovers. Toronto leading to easy opportunities, and very pretty opportunity right there, because that had a little bit of everything in it.
Skip said we finally got to see LeBron in the dunk contest earlier. There it is. The Cavs won their 17th straight Eastern Conference playoff game last night, breaking a tie with the Lakers for the most consecutive playoff wins within the conference after crushing the Pistons and Hawks in the first two rounds. Cleveland has outscored Toronto by 50 in just the first two games of the series so far. Stephen A., will their easy path to the finals, do you think it's going to help or hurt Cleveland?
It's really hard to say. I'm going to guess that it's going to hurt, simply because once adversity hits you, if it's unfamiliar to you, it's very unpredictable as to how you'll respond to it. The only person that it's going to be predictable to is LeBron. Everybody else, they're going to have their work cut out for them. And I think that, again, the rest is going to help them. From a physical perspective, they'll benefit, because if you're playing less games and most of them are blowouts, and because of that you're getting rested in the fourth quarter on top of rest during the off days, and you don't have to go any lengthy series, you're able to really have your body real fresh for the finals. The fact that Golden State and Oklahoma City, that series I'm predicting will go 7 games, who knows what kind of wear and tear that can have on the Golden State Warriors, assuming they win the series once they go up against LeBron in Cleveland. So from a physical perspective, I have no doubt that Cleveland benefits from such lopsided encounters like they've had this postseason. But in terms of adversity, when that hits you, what are you going to do about that? I watched LeBron struggle from the free throw line last night, Skip. Under normal circumstances, that's no big deal. Against Golden State, it's a very big deal.
Yep.
Why? Because they're not going to struggle from the free throw line. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson ain't missing clutch free throws. Draymond Green's not going to miss too many. I mean, all of these guys can go to the line and convert free throws. And so those elements, those little nuggets, are very important in tight games, because guys are going to get fouled, things are going to happen, and folks ain't going to be scoring, or they're going to struggle in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And so my answer to it is that I don't know, but that's because of mentally, psychologically, Kyrie, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, and those guys, I need to see it, because I've never seen them in those situations before. Whereas with LeBron, I know he's been there. But physically, there's no doubt that Cleveland has a huge edge over everybody else, because their bodies are going to be fresh for a 7-game encounter against anybody they go up against out west.
Yep. I'm there. I think this is going to help, especially LeBron James, this easy path to the finals. Stephen A., speaking of fresh, did he not look fresh last night? Did he not look young and explosive last night, LeBron James? It's in part because there hasn't been a lot of wear and tear required of his 31-year-old body so far through these playoffs. And again, it's going to escalate next round. We know it. And as you say, adversity's going to strike. But if LeBron is fresh, he can play through it, because Stephen A., remember Game 4 last year in Cleveland of the finals? Cavs up 2-1. What happened in Game 4? As you told me the next day, LeBron just looked like he ran out of gas, both physically and mentally. It had just been a long, hard grind. Obviously, he didn't have Kevin Love, and then he lost Kyrie in overtime of Game 1 of the finals. But are you with me on this? In all the years I've been covering the NBA, all the years you've been covering the NBA, I just can't remember a star, or in this case a superstar, having an easier path to the finals than the LeBron is enjoying right now. Is that fair? Can you think of a easier?
It seems that way. It seems that way.
Okay,
it seems that way. Yeah.
Think about this. Detroit, first round. That's a dangerous team because it's got talent. That was as competitive a sweep as you'll see. I think LeBron and company had to, it took a little out of them to hold off Detroit, but it only took 4 games to hold off Detroit. And my point is, in the end, Detroit was just too young and too inexperienced, in closing moments to even steal one game from Cleveland. So, sweep. And then here comes Atlanta. They're just another one of those nice Eastern Conference teams without a takeover, game-changing star on that team. So it's no threat to LeBron James. Here comes Toronto, another nice Eastern Conference team, had a nice season, well-coached, and they don't have that one proven takeover, dependable, trustworthy superstar who can compete with LeBron James. And obviously, they don't have Valanciunas now. And LeBron got another huge break, as we've spoken of. Dwayne Wade looked fresh and younger and healthy. He was coming, and then all of a sudden, Whiteside goes down, and Bosh could not come back for the playoffs. Well, that's huge. Those were huge breaks for LeBron James, which leads to, I even look at, some people say, well, remember last year, I even called it, I think you called it also, a fortuitous run for Golden State through the Western Conference playoffs because they kept missing the point guards of each team, Drew Holiday in the first round. But I got to tell you, Anthony Davis was no joke last year. He only ran away with the PER championship last year. He was playing at an extremely high level. And then in round 2, remember last year, Mike Conley got hurt, but remember that series? Memphis was up 2-1 with a game to go in Memphis. I don't think that's easy. And then round 3, conference finals. James Harden was the player's choice last year for MVP. Dwight was there. I don't know. He said he was playing on a wounded knee. But still, that Houston team had just come back from 3-1 down to eliminate the Clippers. I don't think they were any joke. So even though there was no Patrick Beverly in the finals, that's not changing life for the Houston Rockets because they still had James Harden. Then, of course, yeah, in the finals, Golden State got a break. No Kyrie, no Kevin Love. I think they want to rectify that this time and prove that they can win the finals with those two guys playing at a very high level and very healthy. But to me, this is such an easy path for LeBron James, and I think it will greatly benefit LeBron, give him the best chance possible to play either Golden State or Oklahoma City in the finals.
Well, it gives him the best chance. The point is that LeBron's a workout warrior. They say that, you know, his home gym is, you know, is like an LA Fitness for crying out loud or whatever. He works out religiously, takes care of his body exceptionally well, mandates that his teammates do the same, etc. So there's no doubt in my mind that physically speaking, the Cavaliers are going to benefit. The point is, though, the skill set of a Golden State Warriors, more so than even an OKC, is going to determine the difference to some degree because the games are going to get tight. And when they get tight, because it's foreign to you, how are you going to respond to that level of adversity? I don't know how they're going to respond because some would say to you, as long as you've got the energy, the fact that you've been playing is a plus. Whereas if you've got excessive rest and what have you, not necessarily rustiness, but the rhythm and everything else that you may appear to have, the level of competition is significantly greater come the NBA Finals this year than anything that Cleveland has faced. That's the difference here, and that's what I think you need to be concerned about.
Remember the good old days of Eastern Conference playoff battles? Remember the Knicks and the Pistons and the Bulls?
I remember it. It's long gone.
Long gone. Wow.
A little bit
it
of
has
a
come to
subject
this
for him too, right? Yeah. So if the Cavs sweep, they now have 9 days off before Game 1 of the Finals. That'll be nice. And congrats to LeBron. He passed Shaq for 4th all-time on the playoff scoring list. That happened last night. Up next, more NBA, but we are going to Houston. The Rockets may have found their new next coach, and Stephen A. cannot believe it. He will react to that potential hire after the break. The Securities and Exchange Commission alleged in an indictment that Phil Mickelson made $931,000 after purchasing stock on an insider trading tip. Mickelson was not criminally charged. The SEC alleged that Mickelson bought stock in a company in 2012 after receiving a tip from sports gambler Billy Walters. He allegedly used part of the profit to pay money he owed to Walters, with whom he'd placed bets. Walters was criminally charged with insider trading. Now, an SEC spokesman says Mickelson has agreed to pay over $1 million, his profits, plus interest. Skip, should this hurt Mickelson's image?
Stephen A., yes, it should. And Molly, yes, it should. I'll preface everything I'm going to say by maybe disqualifying myself. I've never been a big Phil fan. I've always, and I've said this many times on this show, always considered him to come off as a little bit of a phony to me, to be not exactly what he comes off or the image that he portrays. Too much of America as sort of the husband and father next door. Not that he isn't a great husband and a great father, but there's just something that's phony about his smile to me.